If you want to attack someone, to undercut them, to criticize their actions, and even more pointedly, to explain why they have not been successful, to call them out and undress them in public, to show clearly why they are doomed to failure, you might employ this old bromide. A sure sign of mental illness is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. You're saying that they're crazy, or in this specific endeavor that they are behaving as if they were crazy. And you're asking them to change something, anything. For God's sake, can't you see the obvious, is what you're saying. Try a different approach. They have been trying to do this for a long time now, and it isn't working. You're saying that they should try something new, or they should be replaced, probably the latter, because a sure sign of a crazy person is that they don't think they're crazy. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I get that. It's a clever insight. And yet, I want to leave room for persistence, for perseverance, for the sheer dogged unwillingness to let something go, a refusal to surrender no matter what the odds. Odds, after all, are only odds, and if chance rules our lives, the odds someday may inexplicably break in our favor, if we are prepared, if we have stayed the course. I'm talking about relentless tenacity, insane dedication, like at the end of the movie Tin Cup when the golfer insists on taking the difficult shot. That's crazy. Such behavior has all the aspects of mental illness. To continue to do something without the slightest reward, and in the face of repeated punishment, that's crazy, and I'm not going to argue that it's not. But I am going to argue that some success is the direct result of crazy behavior. It sometimes takes a crazy individual, one who's so focused, or I should say obsessed with obtaining a goal, that no power but death can interrupt their striving. Some quest stories are about some supremely or abjectly nutty person who can't be stopped in their search for whatever it is that they are after. Let us not forget that the man from La Mancha was a complete madman, crazy, out of his mind. For Odysseus, he may not be crazy, not at the outset, but he does want to go home. He's single-minded enough about that, and the gods or chance, they are not going to allow it. He suffers greatly. He also gets home. We made it to the moon. How crazy was that? Seriously, that was cultural insanity, nearly social suicide. All that planning, expense, risk, and sacrifice. And for what? To be able to say that we did it, really. That we have not reached a final limit, because it was there. The Count of Monte Cristo is the story of a man imprisoned unfairly in an inescapable fortress who has to lose his mind, defy all rational expectations, in order to survive and escape and restore justice to this shabby world. Years ago, Frank Sinatra, good old Mr. My Way, a song which is a virtual tribute and ballad of a seriously deranged person, Frank Sinatra sang a duet with a young kid, a song called High Hopes. It became a big hit, and it is nothing but an appreciation of insane behavior, of refusing to alter your approach in spite of all appearances to the contrary. It's a celebration, really, of mental illness. In the song, the crazy people win. They succeed at what they're doing because they refuse to give up. In life, more often than not, that isn't the case. They don't win. They do not escape from whatever fortress is holding them. They do not get to sip from the chalice of glory or victory, and they're written off as being failures, and they failed because they were nuts. They would not listen to reason. Per freda hectenus negata, that's what I say. I salute them. They are my brothers and sisters. Each one of them is trying to make it to the moon. Good luck!